Our minds are made to protect us. Our minds are made to keep us safe. Self-discipline is personal and it looks different for different people. You never really get to a goal. So you will never get to a point of saying, I achieved that and I am done. Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about discipline, and this is a topic that you guys have suggested, so I thought let's have a conversation around discipline, and I can share my tips for that and what I do to make sure I try and stay disciplined, and the things that you can do to help you stay disciplined. If you're new to my channel, my name is Wangui. I create self-care and lifestyle content. If that's your kind of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, join the family, and make sure you post notifications are turned on so that next time we have a video, you are among my first subscribers to get a notification. And now let's get into the video. Discipline is the thing that keeps you going when you don't have motivation. We are not always going to wake up motivated and feeling pumped and feeling ready to tackle the day, but discipline is the thing that makes us get out of bed, get ready for the day, and do the things that we're going to do. Research has shown that people with self-discipline tend to be happier than people without, and this is because with discipline you tend to accomplish the things you truly care about, and when you accomplish the things you truly care about, of course that contributes to your happiness. So discipline is a really important thing to have and to build for you as an individual and for you as a team player, a member, a colleague. I've also come to learn that self-discipline is the link between your defined goals and your accomplished goals. So you might be having some goals that you want to tackle, and the only thing that is going to take you from that defined goal that you have to your accomplished goals is discipline. So yeah, I do have my points here for things that I want us to talk about regarding discipline. And first up, I want us to talk about the benefits of discipline. You guys know every video that I do, I have to share why we are even talking about it and the things that you can expect to reap if you do implement the things that I share on here. So when it comes to discipline, these are some of the things that you can expect to reap if you build your self-discipline. Number one, mental health. That goes without saying. Mental health is really dependent on how disciplined you are as a person and how you're able to keep your own promises, how you're able to show up for yourself and do the things that you want to do. That really helps you stay in a good state of mental health, which is generally important to having a happier, fulfilled life. The other benefits that you can reap from being a self-disciplined person is that you get to improve the relationships you have in your life. When you are aware that the things that you do are important to you and that showing up for yourself and for these things is important to you, you see relationships in a different light and you show up for them differently. You tend to be disciplined in every area of your life if you build self-discipline, whether that's in work, whether that's in self-improvement, whether that's in mental health, whatever journey you're on. If you're disciplined in it, it will have a positive impact in your relationship. Another benefit that you can expect to reap if you build your self-discipline is resilience. With self-discipline, you're able to pick yourself back up whenever you fail or whenever you're not feeling so good about yourself, or you feel like you're stuck, or you feel like, oh my god, what's going on with my life? You're able to build that resilience to keep going because you know you are the only block to what you can achieve. You're the person that, you know, sabotages themselves if you're not able to keep your own word or to keep your promises. So yeah, with self-discipline, you're going to build a lot of resilience, and this is so important in work, in life, in relationships, in everything that you do. Resilience is a really important virtue to uphold. Now that we have a few benefits as to why you need to build self-discipline, I would like us to talk about the things that you can do to build this self-discipline. Remember, self-discipline is self, as the word says. It's self, it's personal to you. It's not going to look like somebody else's discipline. It's not going to look like mine or yours. It's very personal, so you have to really be keen on how you implement these tips that I am going to share. But generally, the first thing that you need to do to build your self-discipline is creating your own self-awareness. self-awareness is so important. You get to understand what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, the areas that you need to improve, the areas that you excel in, and that way you're able to see where you need to structure your discipline around. For me, my strength is that I am quite creative, so I am able to just come up with solutions to things that I am going through or to work issues that I might face. But one of my weaknesses is I struggle to work out. I really do struggle to work out, and for me, I've had to intentionally build self-discipline around working out. When I read Atomic Habits in January, one of the things that I learned from that book is that I need to habit stack to be able to introduce the new habits that I was trying to build, which for me was working out, and one that I know I struggle a lot in. I work out a few times a week, and on the days that I work out, I get to reward myself with something, and then I had to stack that working out habit with a habit that I already enjoy. And for me, in the morning, that has to be my shower routine. So I can only get to enjoy my shower routine if I work out in the morning. Of course, this doesn't happen every day, and for me, I had to start small and start slow so that it can be sustainable and I can cement that habit. But you see, now I feel like I am quite self-disciplined around working out because I know the feeling I get after I work out, and I know my shower routine is much more impactful because I worked out. So for you, it could be anything to do with work, to do with your self-improvement, but you have to really be aware first. This is where I struggle and this is where I excel. Then you can be able to structure your self-discipline around the things that you want to improve. The other thing that you can do to build your self-discipline is having a plan for your goals, a step-by-step plan of how you're going to accomplish your goals. I know sometimes we just come up with ideas and goals that we want to achieve, but rarely do we sit down and have a step-by-step process of how we are going to achieve these things. You know, our minds are made to protect us, our minds are made to keep us safe. So if something gets overwhelming, the brain automatically just gets done with it. How can we manipulate the mind to be able to reach the goals that we want to reach? You can do this by making it comfortable for your mind to be able to do the things that you want to do, and that comes with laying out step-by-step processes of how you're going to achieve goals. So that means breaking down your goals into small bite-sized chunks that you're able to do slowly and gradually, building up to the bigger goal. In line with that, you're going to implement daily practices that are going to feed into those exact goals. Maybe you're trying to work out every day and you're struggling to build self-discipline around that. Maybe you can introduce a practice of laying out your workout clothes the night before, setting up your alarm so that you're up early, sleeping with your water bottle next to you so that you know it signals it's time to wake up. It can be any practice that you feel feeds into the goal that you're trying to build or that you're trying to achieve. But yeah, in addition to that, you need to build habits and routines that support your goals and that support your self-discipline building journey. And these are things that you have to really be intentional about. As I said, self-discipline is personal and it looks different for different people. So sit down with a book and pen. I always say this here on my channel, I love to write, and it's just one thing that makes things easier to implement when you write them down. So sit down and write the habits that you know for sure are going to build up your self-discipline. Does that mean you need to wake up earlier? Does that mean keeping your phone away the first 2 hours of your day? Does that mean watching TV until 9:30 and going to bed? Does that mean working out fasting in the morning? Whatever that looks like for you, create those habits and routines that you can keep up to help you build your self-discipline. Another tip to building self-discipline that I think you should implement is working on your mindset. Again, I said the mind is built to protect us, and when things get overwhelming, it tends to put them away away. What you need to do is work on your scarcity mindset and move it to an abundance mindset. And in regards to building self-discipline, this looks like believing that you can do it and then actually doing it. Believing that yes, you're made to build this self-discipline and you can actually go ahead and build it. With self-improvement and self-discovery, sometimes you might just feel like it's just a lot of work, I won't do it, and that's scarcity mindset. Believe that you can, believe that you will meet your other self on the other side, believe that you're going to be the best version of yourself, then do it. Do it, not just believing it, but doing it. While you're building your self-discipline, you need to have backup plans for the things that you have laid out to do on your journey, right? So if you're going to build a new habit, or you're trying to stay disciplined with work, or stay disciplined with your self-improvement, stay disciplined with your self-care, if you have a new habit that you have introduced and you want this habit to support your self-discipline building, you need to have a backup plan for it. For example, I might say I want to go outside for a walk every morning so that I am, healthier. What is a backup plan that I can use to make sure I still keep up with my goal and still keep up with my self-discipline building tasks and routines without really stretching too far? For me, usually it's like, actually I do like going out for a walk first thing in the morning, but sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to go outside, I don't want to see people, I don't want to meet people, I am not in the mood. I have a backup plan for that, and usually for me it's dance routine in the house. So I will still get to work out, but I have a backup plan for my initial workout, which was going to be a walk, right? So for you, it can be creating a self-care routine, and it's this whole complex thing that you have come up with. I'm going to exfoliate, I am going to make sure I moisturize my skin like this. Have a smaller, easier to do backup plan for that, so that you're able to keep up with your goals but still working on your self-discipline. Another thing that you can do to help you build your self-discipline is visualizing the end goal. What does that version of yourself look like on the other side? What does that goal look like when it's accomplished? Visualize that goal, and that will build the discipline and the motivation to wake up, show up, and do the thing that you need to do to get you there. Another thing that you need to do to help you build your self-discipline is creating an environment that supports you. Who are you surrounding yourself with? How does your space look like? Who are your friends? Who are your mentors? What are you talking about? What are you watching? Who are you following on social media? Take some time to edit and audit and go through all these things that are in your environment to make sure that they are all aligning to the goal that you're trying to build. And in this case, it's self-discipline. If you have that friend that is always derailing you, it might be time to cut that friend off. If you have that toxic person that you follow online that is always talking about things that you're not aligning with, then I think it's time to unfollow that person. The other thing that you can do is find mentors and coaches that can support you on your journey. If you're trying to build self-discipline around working out and leading a healthier lifestyle, then you need to find mentors and coaches that are going to help you along your journey. You don't necessarily need to have a one-on-one, session, or have a mentor that you talk to, a specific mentor that you talk to, but you can surround yourself with those people, whether that's following them on social media and learning what they are doing and listening to podcasts that are going to support you, or joining master classes that these coaches and mentors do, so that you have all the information that you need to excel in this goal that you're trying to accomplish. Now, with self-improvement and self-discovery, the journey is not always the best. The journey is not always going to be easy. You will fail along the way, you will get stuck at some point, and that shouldn't be the time for you to give up. It should be the time for you to forgive yourself. This is the time where you evaluate your progress, you look at the things that are not working for you, and you look at the things that are working for you. And if you need to sit down and forgive yourself for the things that you have done that have derailed you on your progress or on the things that you're trying to achieve, then you need to do that. Self-forgiveness is is a really beautiful gift to give to yourself. It is important to note that you might fail on your journey and you might get stuck along the way, and one of the things that you need to realize is that you're human and you're going to make mistakes and you're not always going to get it right. You're not perfect and you might fail along the way. So what do? You make sure you forgive yourself and keep moving. This is not the time to give up when you fumble yourself or when you get stuck in some crazy routine that is not serving you or that is not aligning with your goal. This is the time you sit down, forgive yourself for making the mistakes that you've made, learn from those mistakes, and then keep going. Go back to your goal, envision the end goal, and start doing the work again. Another thing that will help you in your self-discipline building journey is rewarding progress. The reward system works like magic, and this is something that I implement in my life and in my work routines, in my self-care routines. Every time that I keep my promise and do the things that I said I was going to do, I reward myself with something. Right now I am filming this video for YouTube, and I have a reward for it after I finish, which for me will be to make myself an omelette, sit down and watch YouTube for an hour. That is the reward I am going to give myself for sticking up and sitting down and filming and writing scripts and researching and doing all the work that I have done this morning. Get a reward for every little thing that you do that is propelling you to building self-discipline, whether that's a snack, whether that's watching a movie, whether that's buying yourself a gift. Just have some sort of a reward system in your routine to help you stay motivated and help you stay aligned with the goal that you're trying to build. Another thing, and one thing that people rarely talk about, is how after you achieve your goals you feel like you've gotten to where you needed to go. But with self-improvement, it's always work in progress. You never really get to a goal, right? So build up on your goals. If you have a goal to work out 5 times a week and you start with 3 times a week, when you ace the 3 times a week, don't feel like I've already aced that, I don't need to put in more work into that, I am good. No, build that up to 5 times a week. After you've built it up to 5 times a week, then now think about, okay, maybe I need to introduce more challenging workouts to help me tone my body, or I need to include an additional walk in the evening. Another example, if you're trying to eat healthier and you've eaten healthy for a week and you feel like I'm good, I'm settled, I am doing a good job and I have my diet nice and structured and I can be able to keep this up, don't settle there and think that you've gotten it right. Start researching more about the things that you need to get. Do I need to add supplements? Do I need to introduce some foods in my diet? Do I need to build up on this goal that I have been working on? The thing about self-improvement that I really like is that you never really get to a goal. So you will never get to a point of saying I achieved that and I am done. You will always have to work through something, and it should be motivating for you because you don't feel like you're slacking or you don't feel like you've not gotten to a certain point. There is no certain point. It's just a journey that keeps going and keep going. Even now, as I am doing the things that I am doing in my life, I will add more as I go on. I will remove some, I will create new habits, I'll become a totally different person that will need other different things to, you know, keep going and to improve myself. So rest in knowing that you never really get to a destination, and every little thing that you're doing is adding up to you becoming a better version and you building your own self-discipline because you're keeping your own little promises, right? Yeah. When you're trying to build self-discipline, it's important that you incorporate self-care into it. Self-care is so important because it's the thing that brings you back to yourself. It's the thing that helps you remember why you're doing the things that you're doing. For me, when I sit down with my journal and write, I remember why I am journaling. I remember what that does to me and the benefits I reap from it. So I keep doing it and I keep doing it and I keep repeating this practice because I know what it has done for me and I know what it can do for me. So for me, I have become quite self-disciplined, especially with journaling. I have to journal every weekday. Before I start my day, it's become very automatic for me. I just sit down and the first thing I know I need to do is sit down and journal. So for you, it could be the workout, it could be creating a routine, creating a self-care routine. It could be eating healthier, it could be connecting with your friends, connecting with your loved ones. It could be all these little things that make up your self-care routines that you need to keep going back to remind you of why you're doing the things that you're doing and why you need to build up on your self-discipline. Last but not least, in fact, this is one of the most important things to building self-discipline, is this one tip that I have learned and that I have used for years. It's called time blocking. Time blocking is where you set some time aside for one specific task, and then after you're done with that specific task, you take a short break and then allocate the next chunk of time to another task. This is how I do it for myself, and I actually just operate in time blocks. It doesn't matter whether I am cooking or I am working or I am responding to emails or I am in a meeting. I will always organize my days in time blocks. For example, 7 to 9 is my solo 2-hour morning self-care thing that I have, where I just wake up, work out, tidy up my house, get ready for the day. I did a self-care routine last week. You can check that vlog that I shared, my self-care focused morning routine, which helps to ground me and to, you know, be productive the rest of the day. So yeah, so I do have my 2 hours in the morning. I cannot do anything else. I will only listen to my podcast, shower, work out, journal, plan my day, have my green tea, etc. I usually organize my work tasks in time slots. So for example, if I have quite some admin tasks to do and I know they are just small tasks that I need to do, I will maybe allocate 30 minutes to do that. I eliminate all the distractions, keep the phone away, keep the music down, or whatever distractions I feel prevent me from achieving the things that I want to achieve. I keep those away and concentrate for the 30 minutes, finish my tasks, take a break. When I take a break, I usually reward myself. Remember the reward system? I reward myself with either grabbing a snack, or maybe going outside to bask in the sun, or maybe scrolling on TikTok, or maybe just listening to a song or dancing to a song, whatever that looks like for you. It can just be anything really, whatever fills up your soul, whatever makes you happy, that can be your reward. Then after maybe 30 minutes or an hour of enjoying my reward, I go back to work, sit down and work on the next task. So for example, this video is taking me about 2 hours to create because I needed to research, I needed to come up with sort of a rough script, I needed to sit down, get ready. As you can see, I am looking cute, thank you very much. I needed to sit down, get ready, choose my outfit, do a bit of makeup, set up the camera, charge the batteries, offload the memory card, sit down with the script, go over the script, then now film the video. That takes about 2 hours. For a very short video that is about 20 to 30 minutes, it will take me 2 hours to film. So I have blocked that time for just filming that video. Then after I finish this, I am going to take my 1 long hour break, which is going to involve me making myself some nice yummy breakfast, sitting down and not working really, sitting down, catching up with social media, whatever has been happening in the morning, and then watching maybe a vlog, and then I will continue with work later. So time blocking really helped me build my self-discipline, and I started this when I was writing myself. I used to divide all my articles into time blocks, and after the time block is done, you leave the workspace and do something else. That helps if you are a big procrastinator and you tend to put off things, and especially for people like me that work from home, that work for ourselves. I don't really have anyone holding a gun to my head to do a task. It's me to wake up and decide that, you know what, I need to do this video, I need to edit that video, I need to post that content, I need to do ABC and D. So I really have to survive on self-discipline, otherwise I will go broke, I will not work, I will not be an amazing human being, right? Yeah, so those are the tips that I had for you today. Please make sure you like this video. It will get to more people if you like it, and if you are self-disciplined or you consider consider yourself self-disciplined, leave us tips down below. Let us know what you do to keep up with your self-discipline and to stay productive, to stay focused, to stay in line with the goals that you're trying to achieve. Leave us some tips. We will definitely learn something from you. And if you're just at the start of your self-discovery, self-improvement journey, I hope this video helped, and I hope you got some tips to help you start on the right note and to build self-discipline. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.